joint fellowship and
माइक तो किसको दे रहा है?
this year 24 I taught grade 6 and then 8 English and SST, and after that I joined in program role, so working as a program manager in Delhi currently. And I work to empower fellows and with them build a community of like strong leaders, and that is what I look forward. And very happy to be engaging with you all. Thank you.
Your name
Devang Sharma.
Devang Sharma. Thank you.
My name is Sujit. I was a Akansha student way back when it started. With my Akansha, as a student, I was there for 12 years. Post that, I did a traineeship program called social workers traineeship. I did for 2 years. Then I was there as a they hired me as a social worker. So I was there as a social worker for 4 years. Then later on worked with several organizations. But while a slight story, a chota story.
Please.
There was this program which was getting built called Learning to Lead, which was for students who were exceptionally well in academics. There were also a bunch of students who were not doing academically well, and I was from that group. So they found a program called Social Leadership Program, and I was one of the first batch students where they were just doing guinea pig training. So they also didn't do what they wanted when we graduated. So we only did current affairs that time. And thanks to that, I founded my own organization called Pragati Holistic Development Trust, which started as a project in 2009. We started working with kids who are terminally ill, fighting from life-threatening diseases. So we started going and interacting with them, and our mission was to bring smiles on their face. That's still been on. 2009 we got registered as an organization. The journey is still on. It's a completely voluntary-based organization. After that, I worked, and also I completed my college during night. So in days I used to work with Akansha, and later I worked with Teach for India as a community engagement associate, where my role was to help and support fellows in crisis. So a lot of time, domestic violence, child sexual abuse, eve teasing, such firefighting cases I have dealt. Also, a lot of time there used to be fights among parents and fellows. There have been incidences where kids have lost lives. So integrating those such disheartening situations to make sure everything is making fellows safe at that point of time was my goal. Did that for 5 years. After that, I worked with Goodrich. I was a CSR executive where I supported educational projects at our factory level. So we had a lot of rural area locations where we developed schools, we funded schools. Currently, I've joined an organization called Grassroots, where we work with women who are business entrepreneurs, but doing sustainable business. So we do capacity building as well as we provide fundings to them. So post COVID, a lot of us thought if such thing ever happens, how are we going to deal with the situations? And the only one answer came up in our forum was to make women equipped with a lot of skills and support, and that will take care of 80% of the problems. मतलब शादी के बाद मतलब पैसे तो निकालते ही है, वो एक जमा करके उन्होंने काफ़ी सारी ऐसी स्टोरीज हैं where women have saved a lot of money which was from their household income or savings, और उस पे लोगों के घर चले. So if in current situation we provide training and provide funding, and if they start saving, they make that money, they multiply that money, ऐसे कभी crisis situation आए तो हमारी organizations की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. So we are working towards that, and also I'm consulting an organization called Social Stars. Matthew Spacey is the founder. He's also happens to be Clear Trip co-founder and Magicus founder. We are planning to bring community and corporates together using sports as a medium. So I'm consulting them. So that's my story.
Thanks. Thank you.
Hi, I am Tanya Bansal. I am from Delhi team. I have, like Devang actually, I have also completed my fellowship in 2021 to 2023. Currently, I'm working with program as a program manager. And what I'm passionate about so much is I think reaching each child in the classroom, and therefore I chose to stay back in the system, thinking how I can make that impact at a scale. That's what I really want to work on. Second thing that I'm also equally passionate about is inclusion of like all communities together and not divided based on any prejudices or any thought processes. That's what I think about when I'm working in the classroom, when I'm working with people, when I'm working with teachers. And yes, that's pretty much about me. Over to Subi.
Hi everybody, my name is Kulki and I also work as a program manager. I did my fellowship in 2022 to 2024 like Deva. I taught grade 3 and 4 elementary graders first time in my life. Before doing my fellowship, I was teaching in a private school in MP where I belong to. So there I was teaching grade 9 to 12 and English and social science were my subjects. So from there coming to the elementary was very different for me. And I have been from the background of teaching family. My father was a teacher, my mother was a teacher, my grandfather and everybody in my family was a teacher. So I also wanted to be like them to inspire. But I also did my schooling from a government school. In MP we don't have such facilities, but I did my schooling from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, which is a very resourceful school. So I didn't have clarifications or something like this. A lack of resources in a government school. I haven't witnessed that. But then later on, when I entered through the fellowship, my expectations were here, but I get that much nothing in terms of resources. Building that community of my students from low resource and taking them to the same level of that is my passion. So yeah, this is all.
Hi, coming to the subject.
Yeah, maybe.
Hi, I'm Pragya. I've been a 2019er in Hyderabad. Before that, I had done my degree and master's in economics, and post that I was working a little bit as a researcher. And then, I'll quickly share my journey. So, through research and my deepest respect and gratitude to whoever chooses to do research and work in the academia. So, I worked in academia for about 8-9 months, and at some point I had that epiphany. And as economists, we tend to make hypotheses, build models, and then at the end we'll be like, if this happens, then your model will work, or so it's a lot of assumptions and hypotheses. So I remember one of my I was sitting in one of these talks and sessions where people were presenting their work, and obviously you are supposed to, and I had this epiphany, and I was like, if I'm 50 or 60 at that age, do I still want to keep talking about if this model gets implemented, then I will create some impact, then things may move in the system. So I think that was the reason why, there was this not knowing what to do, whether I want to move from academia or, so it was again a messy 24-year-old at that point. And I had a friend of mine who's, I think, coming in, who had joined the fellowship right after her master's. So, and I saw her doing phenomenal things in classroom, and she would talk to me about, today I took my kids out for this session, for this, that, and I was like, you? I was like, I had not known this person, and it just feels like a whole other person who I was talking to. So I think that sort of pushed me on. I was like, let's give this a try. Let's see what the fellowship at all offers. And that's what brought me on, and that made me shift from doing hardcore research to being in education. And I've done the fellowship from Hyderabad. Anybody from Hyderabad? I was looking for Hyderabad. So I did my fellowship in Hyderabad. I also taught in your school when I was doing my, during institute. So I've had that circle. And post my fellowship, I was a recruitment manager where I brought in fellows, where I found the calling in me to bring more people like me, like all of us in this room, come into the system. So I did that for about 2 years. And then I chose to move a little bit out of education and the whole TFI, because whatever work I understood was Teach for India, and this will continue to remain. So I wanted to move out and explore the social sector. So currently I work as a social impact consultant at Dasra. So that's what I'm currently doing. But yeah, happy to be back home.
Okay. Hello everyone, I'm Shweta. I work as an associate school and community relations with Delhi team. I have completed my masters from Ambedkar University Delhi in gender studies, and then during that time only I enrolled for volunteer program with Teach for India, where I taught grade 5 in Selampur area. That inspired me a lot to work with students, to teach them, to actually empower them through many ways. And after just that, I applied for fellowship. I got into it. I'm a 24 fellow. I taught grade 5th and 6th, and it was an all-girl classroom, beautiful classroom, and I got to learn and grow a lot. And post that, I joined this. And my rationale behind joining this and my strong purpose is that I strongly believe when HMs or the stakeholders feel connected with our movement, they support fellows, they help them grow really strongly, and that's how our students get the best education and best learning experiences. Thank you so much.
Okay, hello everyone. I am Asya Begum. I was born in Assam, brought up in Nagaland, and I did my education in Bachelor's of English Literature. I just graduated and got into the fellowship. The first time I was exposed to my calling was when I was a fresh 10th pass, and I had to fund my own education after I became a 10th pass, because apparently my extended family would not allow me to go to college. And I went to the principal of my college, asked his help, called in the police, and then I started, I funded my own education since then. And for that, I had to teach in a school. It was 1,500 a month, but I taught 5 classes from 3rd grade to 7th grade. And I taught English, science, and social sciences. And that was the first time that I was exposed to. It was in Assam. I studied in Nagaland. When I came to college, I came back to Assam. It was COVID and everything. So when I was teaching those students, those were my five first students, and I used to go to college. I used to go to school from 8 to 12, finish that, and then my college was very nearby, so I'd go, change in the common room, and go for my classes till 4. So I did that. And at that time, I was also working with a local NGO, and I was also an NCC cadet. So everything built in those 2 years, everything came inside me. The urge to work in social impact, come education, come development sector, everything came inside of me in those 2 years. And I moved out of my hometown, went to university, and discovered Teach for India. Suddenly an ad came one day. I was so heartbroken because I would have to finish graduation, so I was not able to apply, and I forgot about it. And just this year on March, again an Instagram ad suddenly popped out about the application, and I applied for it, and here I'm here. So my vision and my will to post this fellowship is to really go back to my place, go back to my village, revamp the mindset. I don't know I'll be able to do or not. Revamp the education system that's here, implement all the learnings that I get from Teach for India, implement it in the social impact sector of my village and then around the surrounding areas. So yeah, that is what I came here in this space. Also, I'm sitting here with that vision only. What is my long-term learning from this space that I'm taking? Every space I walk into is, what is my long-term learning? How can I give back? How can I give back? How can I take and give back, take and give back? So yeah, I'm here sitting with this very thought, and I'm so grateful that we are sharing this space and we are going to have this dialogue, and there's so much to learn from all of you. Yeah, thank you for listening to me.
Thank you. You want to share?
Yeah. So, hi, good afternoon everyone. I am Gitika and I am a fellow right now. My fellowship will get over in another 4-5 months. And today I have come, I got my students who are standing outside. So, please, after the session, if you get a chance, please interact with them.
Where are your students?
Just right out.
They have a stall or they just
No,
waiting?
they're just standing outside, so they have to talk to the 4 C's out of the 8 C's.
Okay.
So they have the duty right now. So that's the best. So please do interact with them. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Vaishali. I'm from Chennai. I have nothing to do with education. I did my master's in operations research, and immediately after my college I started volunteering. So that was my gateway to understanding the problem. Until then I used to be extremely cynical that nothing about the country is going to change. But volunteering introduced me to a very different network. People were committed to doing something to change, and it got addictive. I used to, what started as weekend volunteering became full-time volunteering. So I switched from the manufacturing sector to the development sector, and sometime around 2017 I started questioning the work that I was doing in shelter homes, because that always felt supplementary, something add-on to what these children were already getting in government schools. So I gravitated towards the education system, schools, how can quality education be provided to children in schools, so that supplementary educations or organizations like ours would cease to exist. So I took a small break and I did my master's in holistic education. That was very different. It questioned a whole lot of my principles, and it redefined my meaning of education. And that's how I started the Gumi Fellowship in 2020. So I'm a TFIX entrepreneur from 2020 cohort, and we'll be soon starting the 5th cohort of the fellowship. We're right now working in Chennai, Trichy and Coimbatore, and the focus is whole school transformation.
Hello everyone, I'm Girish and he is Vishwas. So हम यूनिवर्सल प्रोवाइड फाउंडेशन से स्टेम फेलोज है और 5th से 9th स्टैंडर्ड के बच्चों के साथ, गवर्नमेंट स्कूल के बच्चों के साथ गाँव के हम वर्कशॉप करते हैं, सेशंस करते हैं. उसमें बच्चे 5th to 7th ग्रेड के बच्चे इनोवेशन मॉडल्स के प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाते हैं, अपने आजू बाजू के प्रॉब्लम्स खुद आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं और उस पर खुद प्रोजेक्ट्स बनाते हैं. एंड 8th और 9th के बच्चे कंप्यूटर लिटरेसी करते हैं 8th में, और 9th में जब जाते हैं तब आर्डिनो स्क्रैचिंग एंड कोडिंग्स करते हैं.
एंड ये आप कहाँ पे करते हैं? मुंबई में?
कल्याण मुरबाड के.
आप कुछ और ऐड करना चाहते हैं?
तो उसमें हम लोग सिखाते, उसमें स्टेम होता है.
हाँ,
उसमें से हम चीज सिखाते हैं. जैसे इन्होंने बोला 8 चीज, उसमें से हम क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग और कोलैबोरेशन सिखाते हैं. और जैसे इसने बोला कि इनोवेशन मॉडल में वो चैलेंज लेके आते हैं, ढूंढते गांव में जाके उनके सब बाजू में क्या प्रॉब्लम्स है, उसके ऊपर उनको बताए ना उसको कैसे सॉल्व करना है. उसको पहले उनको समझना होता है कि चैलेंज क्या है असल में, उसके ऊपर क्या सॉल्यूशंस कैसे निकालना है उनको ही, और उसके ऊपर जो सॉल्यूशन आएगा उसके लिए मटेरियल क्या लगेगा और उसको कैसे बनाना है वो भी उनको ही रिसर्च करना होता है. वो 7th के होने के बाद हम लिटरेसी लेते हैं, जैसे टेक्नोलॉजी को इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं 8वीं तक, और 8वीं के होने के बाद उसमें कोडिंग लॉजिक कैसे बिल्ड किया जाए उसके हम स्क्रैच सिखाते हैं. जनरली उनको इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाए स्क्रैच से. उसके बाद हम जैसे 7th में इनोवेशन मॉडल लेते हैं, हम 9th में लेते हैं आर्डिनो के साथ बेसिक्स. उनको आर्डिनो को क्या है, उसके बाद सेंसर्स क्या है, मॉडल्स क्या है, उसके बाद जो सीखा है उसको वही इनोवेशन मॉडल 7th में जो सीखा है उसको ही हम 9th में कंटिन्यू करते हैं 3 C's के साथ. उसमें इंक्वायरी बेस्ड लर्निंग होती है उनकी, तो उसी तरह से हम उनको पढ़ाते हैं. अभी फ़िलहाल हम 15 बच्चों के ऊपर बच्चों के साथ काम कर रहे हैं. अभी हमारी टीम 20+ है, और हमारे जो स्कूल्स है अभी वो 21+ स्कूल्स है जो कल्याण और मुरबाड तालुका से.
बहुत मज़ा आता है उनके साथ काम करने में, बहुत इंजॉय करते हैं वो भी. कुछ नया सीखने मिलता है उन्हें, और उनकी एक्साइटमेंट देख के हम भी मोटिवेट होते हैं और उनसे भी बहुत चीज़ें सीखने मिलती है. जैसे कि कुछ भी होता है पर वो हारने मानते हैं, बनाने चाहे जितने भी सेशंस चले जाए, वो जब तक बनाते नहीं तब तक रुकते नहीं. तो बहुत मज़ा आता है.
बहुत सारे बच्चे जो जैसे हमारे सिटी में बच्चे होते उनको फैसिलिटीज़ होती है, लेकिन जो बच्चे वहाँ पर वो आदिवासी होते हैं, जो पिछड़े समाज के होते हैं, तो उनके ऊपर फैसिलिटीज़ नहीं होती है. तो उनका जो टेक्नोलॉजी का इंट्रोड्यूस है वो हम ट्राई कर रहे हैं कि उनको ज़्यादा एक्साइटमेंट कैसे हो और उनको ज़्यादा फैसिलिटी कैसे प्रोवाइड की जाए। तो हमारा वही प्रयास है उनके तक ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा बच्चों के साथ, और हम टीचर्स को भी कैसे इसमें इन्वॉल्व कर सके वो भी हमारा है प्रयास।
थैंक यू। हमें अच्छा लगेगा कि आप सब भी अगर आएंगे विजिट करने के लिए।
Thank you for the invitation. Want to go next?
Okay, so hello everyone, I'm Alisha. So I am basically a Teach for India student alumni, and when I was a second grader, I had my teachers from Teach for India, and that was 2009 batch, like first batch that came from TFI. We had teachers from that, and we had teachers, TFI teachers till like our 10th grade, and happily I passed my 10th standard, and then I went to college, junior college, and did my 11th and 12th. And I had Teach for India teachers, but never had this realization that I also want to work into the education sector until I started working with my Teach for India teacher alumni, like who's Anup Parik. I started working him in a foundation called as the Next Space Center, which is basically a center in Govandi itself, which works on children, giving them an opportunity in sports, and providing them a safe space for library. I was working there as an educator. I was, but not a teacher type of an educator. The library you see here, we have a mini library of this sort. So I'm working there and doing story sessions there, doing writing workshops, and writing workshops, science club, giving them a glimpse of everything. That was what my job was there. And maybe I'm like, this is the third year I'm working there, and that realization that I want to work into the education sector. Though I was a Teach for India student, I knew that teachers, these teachers are very good. They teach you in a different way, but I never wanted to be a Teach for India teacher. But after working with that center for 3 years, working with children, I came up with this idea that I should also apply for the fellowship. Maybe this is something I'm enjoying as well, and I have a scope of my career also. So I had applied for this fellowship, and I've received my offer letter as well. So I'll be working as a Teach for India teacher from next year.
Hello everyone, I'm Siddhi. I'm also a student alumni, and TFI has also been a significant part of my life from like when I was 6 or 7 to till today when I am 21. So I had teachers from 2nd standard to 10th standard, just like Alicia, and after that I did my junior college in science because I thought that that's it for me. I did that, and after that I was into computers a little. So I thought that I'll venture the computer applications part. So, but that was around 2020. So COVID hit, and then things went downhill from there. And it was online lectures. So I was like doing my BCA. I did it till my 3rd semester, and on the sidelines I was working with NGOs. There, my teacher, one of my Didi, she told me about Antarang Foundation, where I did around 2-3 internships with them. But then I realized that BCA is not something for me, and the phase that it was for me, I took a drop. I was like, this is not for me, this is not happening. So I took a drop, I stepped back, and then the same Didi, Swati Didi, she told me about another foundation, NGO. It was United Way of Mumbai. Then I went there, I worked for a good 6-7 months, and after that I realized that social sector is something that I'm passionate about, that I want to work in, because I've always had this exposure or guidance from people who kind of want to bring in a change, want to see people be better in themselves and also help others. So I was like, this is something that I want to pursue. And then same teacher, she also pointed out that science is not something that I'm good at. Like I anyways have to complete my studies. I was just at 12th passed then. She was like, you need to study. So what are you going to do now? And I was in it was a dilemma for me, like what now? And then I didn't continue right away. I did work with another one of my friend of my Anu Bhaiya, his friend. His friend had a toy startup, and I worked there and I learned a lot like on hands, first hand. I learned a lot, and after like finally this year, I decided that I was always into reading. I was always into reading and talking. So I was like, yeah, I want to pursue something in arts. So now, right now, I'm in my first year of BA in philosophy and English literature, and I'm waiting till I graduate, and then hopefully I'll also be a TFI fellow. Yeah.
Thank you.
So hi everyone, my name is Sankalp and I am currently studying 11th grade. So I was born and brought up in Mumbai itself, and the school that I currently study at is called Shikha Academy, and it is a school that caters underprivileged students who are not doing so well financially, whose families are. And one of my favorite subjects is math, because that's something that really gets my math and science is something that I really like, because I am the kind of person who wants to question everything and understand the way behind things, how they happen and stuff. So I don't have so much experience as of now, but I hope to learn a lot from you. Looking forward to our dialogue.
You're also an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So that was I guess you could say that, because we did this little enterprise project in our 10th grade for the subject that we were learning, enterprise. In that we created an entire game featuring, cards, and it was a fun game.
Okay. Can you share?
Yeah, please. So it's a small card game. There's a deck of cards, and we randomly distribute until everybody has the same number of cards. The rest of them we can put away. So the concept is just like Uno, that you have to end up using up all your cards. And so the game goes that one person has, so on the card there are short sentences or phrases written. So one person has to pick a card, choose a card, and then put it forward and start a story. And then the next person has to see their cards and sort of take a card and continue that story. And it has to be sort of a logical connection. And if the group agrees, the card stays down, or else he has to take it back up. And the first person who sort of puts down all the cards wins the round. So
that was a really fun game and very interesting themes, collections also you had, right?
We had a lot of different themes like horror, mystery, and all those kind of.
Thanks.
My name is Shruti. I have recently joined TFI as a staff member. Been just a week. This is the second week going on for me. I am not a fellow, but I come from the education background. My passion towards education, and so just to begin, I think passion is something I keep on dwelling from one area to another, and currently I'm in a phase where education is something which I'm really passionate and connected to as well, based on my childhood experiences, my journey as a learner throughout. And second is gender, because as a female, the whole gender diversity aspect, the gender inequality aspect, or the equity aspect, I think it has impacted all the females across the globe. But because it's so personal to me, it becomes political to me altogether, and so I'm very passionate about. If it would have not been TFI for me as my next step for a job, it would have been any organization that has been passionately working for gender. So, but TFI, you guys are lucky to have me.
Absolutely. And TFIs, I'm also one of it. Yeah.
And I think a quick snapshot of my journey. I got an opportunity to dive deeper into understanding the whole discourse of education, all philosophy, development discourse altogether through my MPhil. I am also an Ambedkar student, where here you are. And Ambedkar gave me an opportunity to not just relook at every aspect of what philosophy looks like, but allowed me to critique on it as well. Because the one thing that my education journey did not allow me to do was critique things. But Ambedkar did, and it was a revelation for me altogether. And I think since then, I have not stopped asking questions. And I think as an individual, I have grown to be more firm in knowing what I want, how much time what I need, and to just take my pace and understand, perform to the best of performance that I can. Yeah, that's how.
Thanks, Shruti. Okay, we're going to pause here. And this is a great time to actually do a self-reflection activity, right? It was very intentional to go through a detailed introduction one by one. And as I mentioned at the start, right, the purpose of the space is, one is of course to dialogue on certain themes, but for us also to be aware of how we are doing as listeners, right? And so the question which I would like for you all to ask yourselves is that, right? Saying that how did we do as listeners? Like, at what point of it did we feel like this is getting too long? When will we move forward? There's always a voice that plays out in our head as somebody is talking about something. That voice in our head is trying to say, add a flavor to it, either kind of say, oh, okay, this person is like this, or this is what it is, get it, and doesn't really let you listen, right? So I want you to take a minute to be really honest. We're not sharing this, but to say just in that first round itself, what was our stamina, what was our capacity, were we really able to focus? If Shruti was introducing and I was going next, was I listening to Shruti or was I thinking about what introduction I'm going to give? So I want you to just take a minute to just think about it for yourself, because that's the real muscle which we are trying to build through this process while talking about specific themes. So maybe just take a minute in silence to think about it. Try to remind yourself there's always a voice. Even right now, there's a voice in your head that's playing as I'm saying all of this, right? Some of you might feel like, you know what, after listening to and seeing how this space is, maybe I don't want to be here. It's still a choice. So if you want to leave, feel free to leave. Those who want to dialogue can continue to stay. So just wanted to make sure that's there. Take 30-40 seconds. And if you're able to silence, get your full focus back to yourself, to this group, then we'll get started with the next round. Now, this is all an invitation, right? And within this group, in fact, at least I know 60 to 70% of folks here, they're all phenomenal people who are here. Like individually, if you actually just double click on each of their stories, I think they're like really fantastic folks who are here, right? And so it's going to be natural tendency to say, I had this incident, but I don't think so it's as big or as severe, so I'm not going to share. Right? So this is not a competition. We are not trying to go into the most severe. It's what has stayed with one, what is still holding us back, what still lingers with one. And the other folks here are just trying to listen, right? Nobody's going to offer a solution. Nobody is going to compete. Nobody is going to say that maybe they would say, I also had something similar. But the intention here is not to kind of, help you feel a certain kind of response to what you're sharing. Right? So if you have those kind of thoughts that's coming to your mind, that's constantly adding layers, disclaimers, filters, remember that's the voice in your head. And if what it's doing is doing you a disservice from being in this moment, being uninhibited, being able to listen, being able to connect,